I am Tom, and just one pack, and this is AC on, the short Alpha Clash podcast where I talk all things Alpha Clash on my way to work. And the past week and a half, about say a month or so, there's a lot of things happening in the world of Alpha Clash, and getting to choose just one thing is really, really difficult. So I'm going to rattle off a few of the things happening. Those I found interesting, and I'm going to try to pick the subject and keep to that. So, what we just had in the last month or so is the launch of the Kickstarter for the board game, with loads of interesting tidbits on that. It's been funded ages ago. It's about $50,000 US now. And I've got a couple of weeks back. We just had Clash Grounds in Las Vegas and Pasai, introducing the bounty cards. I've talked about those. Really interesting to see that development. This time next week we'll have the 5th set Equilibrium, and we started to see not just spoiler cards, but boxes being opened and cards revealed. Really, really interesting. I'm really looking forward to getting to play around with some deck building there and see what can strengthen those decks. And we've got news about the Progenitors Gambit, the sort of national level championships for the game, where they promised us a while back, I think, that the bounty cards will continue. There will be event cards, we now know, like we had in Clash Grounds, so everyone gets sort of the event card. I think you get 4 copies at the Progenitors Gambit, but that's besides the point. And the Progenitors Gambit is set in both in US and the Philippines, start June, late May. So all of that is happening. But what I want to touch on, that besides there being a lot of updates for how they support this organized play thing, how they support organised play in the big tournaments, quote unquote. Something really interesting is happening as well. I've been talking this week with. I noticed that there's way back were a post about some blokes in the UK going for a sort of geeky conference and bringing Alpha Clash to it. I thought that is brilliant. I really want to do that, but I missed the local version of this. But I might have to do something, right? Because seeing that kind of activity is inspiring, right? So I've seen them talk about this on the European Facebook groups, that they will start hosting events. They're based in the Midlands of the UK. They're based in the Midlands, and that is just a skip and a jump from where I'm at. So I've been talking to them. I'm going to send them whatever I can to help, because I, for one, would really I would like for this to grow in Europe as well. I think it's great that it's in the US. I think it's great that it's in the Philippines. As far as I know, there are a few organised events in Australia as well, and there might be something in Canada. I do not know. I think that's great, but I want it in Europe as well. And the UK being first movers is fine by me. I'm on mainland Europe, so that's not going to help me. but it's not that far of a jump and not that expensive to go there if if I prepare a little bit. So I was talking to these guys and trying to poke if there would be something like an awakening there. I'm not going to promise, but I really want to go to the first European awakening. I know that I'm a casual player, and these organised plays, the competitive side of this is not really appealing to me in the same way. But the the mission statement, or the mission for Rising Empire Studio is to make it both fun and competitive. And fun I like. So getting to that, supporting that growth. If I'm the one getting it to a round number, then I would definitely go. At my own local setup, we're trying to get that rolling in sort of a... there you go. Get that rolling. That is a strictly casual thing, right? And that is... Sometimes we forget that most of those who buy cards are not the ones at Pro Tour, right? Or the Progenitors Gambit. Those events are important, but they're sort of like watching football, or soccer for the Americans. It's sort of like watching football, right? You want to root for the team, you want to follow your team, but you also want to play football, but not on that team, because that is way out of your scope and not really the level of effort you want to put into it. So for me, the casual play, the fact that I can pull out a brew off a deck that I'm not certain will actually function, but it's interesting to try out, and I can bring that and still have fun. That is super important to me, right? I made a lot of bad decks in any card game I ever played, and Alpha Clash is no exception there. But the fact that you can build that, have fun with it, without getting the negative vibes you sometimes do have in more competitive environments. That is awesome, and that is one of the things that's really awesome about the Alpha Clash community. If you have not reached out to anyone, that people are so nice. I have never had a bad interaction with anyone in Alpha Clash, even if disagreeing, even if asking really stupid questions. But people tend to be nice about things, so that's amazing, and that is the community I want to support. So, having all of that competitive side of it growing, I'm really glad to see that the not so competitive side of it is growing as well. I don't know how big things like Gambit is. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but there is an interesting part of the room for more casual formats. Now, if you haven't seen my video on the rivalry kits, that is a very good example on what I would consider support for organised play, but in a non-competitive manner. So the rivalry kits will come with a weekly challenge. I think I touched on this before. The rivalry kits are something your game store can get for free or almost free, with all the price support and stuff like that. I've got a video somewhere. Could go watch that if you want to see what's actually in the box. But the cool thing about these is that you can bring such a box, the game store can bring such a box into play by following the challenges. They can post these challenges. There are weekly challenges and there are monthly challenges, and they can post these challenges to whoever wants to participate in the organised events, because that is more likely, right, than the competitive events. Organised play, so you can bring these challenges to your I'll just get out of the way. You can bring these challenges to your game group, right, in the game store, and those the challenges, because I was nervous about this at first, the challenges aren't demanding challenges. In fact, some of them, at least from the Rivalry Kit 1, which I opened, is really, really basic. There are, for example, they could be that you build and bring a deck only consisting of commons and uncommons. Right. Can you build a functioning deck with uncommons and uncommons? Sure. And with set fire releasing, sort of ending the block of, then we might actually do it as a format in and of itself. But the fact that you can actually build that, and you can actually produce something sort of coherent, just for the fun of it. But the real cool thing is that can be done by someone who only opens one box. Now, TCGs are, in my opinion, a luxury hobby, right? At whatever level you're at, they get more and more luxury-like. I really like that with Alpha Clash and loads of other games, you can... loads might be a bit much, but a lot of other games, you can spend fairly little for getting the real experience. If you buy I think it's 20 or 25 euro Clash kit, that will suffice you. You can use that as a board game. You will actually get a real experience of how it is to play the game. Now, I know some competitive players might say that is not true, and it's only half the experience, you don't have the power. But for people who want to play casually, the Clash kits are really good, and offers a lot of variety. So I love those, and the fact that you can go out and get that for like I say, 20-25 euros, and not having to spend any more on getting your things, getting to play the game, that is absolutely awesome. But one step up is the booster box. Now, you can be like me and buy several booster boxes. I know some open cases of this. Sure, I'm investing in it in that way. But if you're not, then spending something like 60, 80, 90 euros, I can't remember the prices, is a lot of money to put into something that is basically just a board game for you. So having these challenges that can be accomplished by very casual players with a single box opening, or even just chaff whatever's lying around with other players, I think that is a huge benefit to the game, and I really, really like that twist on it. So that was me rambling on about organised play, but that there's a competitive side, but I see it growing on the less competitive side, and I really like what they're doing, not just with rivalry kits, but as a whole, and I really hope it takes off in the UK. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.